All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the Squawk podcast, your favorite Pokemon podcaster's favorite Pokemon podcast. I left my closet door open, so let me close that. But if we want to see inside my closet, you do not want to see what's in my closet right now. That's usually where my laundry goes, so that's reserved for the that's reserved for the skeletons and sometimes my socks. Hi, guys. What's up? Welcome back to another live episode of the Squawk podcast. I am Kyle Cooper Rios. I'm here with my buddy, the Pony Bottle Champ, Mr. George Fabre. I actually feel like I don't know you anymore. I haven't seen you in like a week.
It's only been like 2 weeks. No, it's only been like a week and a half.
It's been, as the Bare Naked Ladies once said, it's been 1 week. So
it's been 1 week since you looked at me. That song?
Yeah, that song rips. Anyway, what's up,
really
guys?
Here to sing, that's really it.
That's all. That's what George's role is to the podcast. So
I definitely don't know Pokemon anymore, so I don't know what I'm going to be speaking about today.
Yeah, no, George is a certified. It's like I don't even have a joke. You just haven't played Pokemon in a week. You've been too busy being a human being. I'm trapped in your left ear right now. I don't know what to tell you, big dog, but.
Yeah, get better headphones. You're cringe.
Yeah. Turn on your stereo.
I'm also probably not going to be friends with Andrew, Zucchini Boy, going forward because it is April 29th and he has yet to watch any of the movies that I suggested him, and therefore he cannot be friends with me. That's just how it goes.
I had the same issue. Why am I only coming through the left side of your headphones? That's weird. Huh. Okay. I don't know why that's happening, guys. I don't think I had this problem last night when I streamed, so I don't know why my audio is coming through that way. Is my audio only on one channel? What? Why is that happening? That's so weird. Oh, that is so... Fiddlesticks. Why is this happening like this? Where's my mic coming from?
Fiddlesticks.
I mean, I didn't do anything different with my audio settings. I don't know why it's coming through this way. That's weird.
Yeah, we are playing Zard now. I actually was just building Pidgerzard, Duskull, just like the old days. Just let's get Clef in there, no Rotom. We don't need the fish. We'll be all right. He'll be okay. Zard Guardy?
Oh, God.
My God.
All right. Well, shout outs to everyone in the chat right now. Omar's here. Nick's here. Andrew's here.
Omar's
Bella's here.
Shit,
Hi, Mariel. My girlfriend's watching, George, so be nice, okay? So
I'll try to. Hi,
you
Mariel.
won't.
How are you?
And I don't know Rob with the Exit 56 with the Prime sub. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate it.
Oh, the money I'll never see. Let's go. How about that time that I gifted subs on your channel that I will just never get,
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, man, that's your charitable donation, and I appreciate it.
Just take me out to dinner,
I'll think about it. It's my birthday this week, so you got to take me out to dinner. So.
Oh, that's like I've never done that once in my life. Right?
No, I'm here to gaslight you. Right? Anyway, all right. Sorry about the audio issues, guys. We're gonna go to Applebee's. That's where we're gonna go because it's the only place that's open late on during the week. All right. I don't know why my audio's only coming through one channel, but at least we can hear everybody. So we'll figure this out at another time. But
sorry that everybody keeps seeing me scratch my nose too. My allergies are on one right now. I got the itchy pollen going.
It's
crazy.
It is that time of the year. Unfortunately, actually, let me move my my stuff over here so I can look right at the camera. Let's get into today's show, George. It is currently. First and foremost, I haven't seen you in over a week. How you doing, buddy? You've been going outside, which is an allude to what we're talking about later. But how you doing? How you feeling? You all right? You feeding yourself?
Yeah, actually, not really. I don't really eat that much. I've been consuming more liquid than I use than anything else. No, I mean, listen. The nice weather comes out. It's hard. It's hard not to be outside. Yeah, but it's been fun. It's been nice, cool, mid to late 70s out lately, and I like to enjoy a nice beverage sitting outside. But how you been, man? How's it going in the world of Mr. Koopa? I feel like I use that twice now. Kind of like it.
I think it's weird. Because you know what it is? Like,
The Wonderful Life of Mr. Koopa.
because you know what it is? Like, I am so... Pokemon is, like, ingrained into me, like, what it's like to have people call you by your government name after years of people only calling me by a gamer tag unless I, like, knew you. So, like, when I hear, like, my gamer tag in a not... like Smash Brothers setting, I like snap to form like a Splinter Cell. It's like one of those like Pavlov dogs. Like I just like I start tweaking out because it's like someone here knows. You know, it's like finding out that Clark Kent is Superman. Spoiler alert.
Well, I hate to break this to you, but the channel is literally called Koopa NJs.
Well, you listen.
I don't know what you're expecting. You know,
not a lot. But yeah, to answer your question, I'm doing good. I have also been trying to enjoy the nice weather while we have it. Even though it makes my nose hurt, my allergies are also, knock on wood, they haven't been too bad yet this year. But I'm doing okay. As I mentioned previously, my birthday is this week, so I've just been in press tour mode. You know, I have like a problem you and I talked about recently. You know, we have a lot of different friends that want to spend a lot of time with us. So I've been trying to like organize who I'm seeing where and when, and that's been fun. But other than that, I've been good. I did a lot of walking around the city this weekend, which is really cool. Taking advantage of the nice weather there. Trying to get into walking shape for the upcoming North American International Championships. Because we, as recording this, we all successfully registered. You and I both were able to sign up for the tournament, George. Are you excited?
Yeah. I'm very excited. I already got my flight booked, got the Airbnb booked, parking's paid for at the airport. We are ready to go. As Rob is saying, it's going to be hot in Nolans. I remember last year it was a scorcher. That's why we got an Airbnb with a pool.
Yeah.
Because I was not doing that again. Absolutely not.
No, it was a tough swelter last year. I bought a lot of. Thank God I brought like several black T-shirts because no one can see you sweat through a black T-shirt. But also thank you, Andrew, for the 23rd birthday wish. But
yeah, Omar, there's a big difference between a hot tub and a pool. One is hot and one is refreshing. I don't know if you're familiar, but
Pokemon hot and Pokemon refreshing. And one of them is a time machine. But yeah, good call by you. I also booked my flights this weekend, and in typical Kyle fashion, couldn't do it without screwing something up. Because my girlfriend and I, Marielle, were both going on vacation. I'm kind of extending my stay in New Orleans as an elongated vacation, so I'm staying for almost a week. So we booked our flights there. I paid a little bit extra so we can like pick our seats together. Well, you know, hey, when in Rome. I also don't want to. I wouldn't force anyone to sit next to a stranger on a flight. So, but we picked our flight. We picked our seats for our like departing flight. But we forgot to pick our seats for our return flight. And because we forgot to do that, Delta assumed that we didn't care where we sat on the flight back. So technically, if we try to pick a seat for the return flight, we're technically changing our seats, which means we technically have to pay $50 to pay for that change seat, which is kind of annoying. But
which technically isn't that bad.
It's not. It's more so just a first world person problem. But flights are booked for, hotels paid for. I'm flying out of LaGuardia, so I will be taking a train to the airport. Everything's going to be great. I'm really excited, and I think my energy around this NAIC is much different than last year's for a couple of reasons. Mainly being that I didn't get to enter the tournament last year because I whiffed registration twice. So I had to watch while all you guys gallivanted around having a better time than I was. And also from a personal standpoint, I can actually eat food this year and enjoy myself because last year I was a couple months removed from stomach surgery, and just to kind of disclose some information here, keeping the food down was really hard because my stomach was not used to eating all of the food that I was jamming down my gullet, so it was kind of trial of error to see like what would make me yak or not. So I was really not having a good time in terms of the cuisine because I really couldn't eat everything I wanted to eat. Now I eat without.
So to recap, this year you're going with a loved one.
Yes.
You're going to eat food and you're going to play Pokemon. I think you're going to have a much better time than last year. That's my bold prediction.
I agree. I think so. Should we send Charlie home on Sunday, or should he get his last day of school after an NAIC? No, Charlie's gonna win. You can't send him home, Rob. Come on, that's what we got to do here. So, but yeah, I'm very excited. Just because, and also we all get to hang out with each other. And out of all of us that are going, none of us whipped Reg. A couple of us missed the first day, but everybody that we care about got in. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to the weekend.
Yeah, me too. It's going to be sick. And I am not going to Cafe Du Monde this year. And if anybody wants to go, I will not go with you. That place is overrated and it's bullshit. And I won't go there. But everything else I'm down for. Maybe no more alligator this year, though. The alligator, not my favorite thing. That was kind of weird.
Alligator's overrated. It's not really that great.
It's just tastes like bad chicken. Just eat chicken, you know?
Yeah, Cafe Du Monde was definitely a tourist trap. I'm looking forward to doing actual touristy things this year because I'm staying a little bit longer. I'm going to the zoo. That's one of the things on my schedule. Then there is an aquarium also. So
I do love a good aquarium. I'm a big aquarium guy.
And if you guys are, you love to fish, and also to do some housekeeping, if you guys haven't already seen on our YouTube channel, there was no podcast last week because we uploaded our Atlanta vlog. So I got to give George a thanks again for filming, and I'm sure you had to be shoulder tapped multiple times by people to record stuff.
Oh yeah, Andrew literally he's like George vlog, and I'm like I had to get my game face on. I was like, all right, here we go. I'm keep freaking tying, and I got to make sure that I'm somewhat upbeat, I'm just cursing to the minimum because I was just so PO'd, but it was fun. I mean, it was great. And shout out to Andrew because in the aquarium my phone was dead the entire time. It was a whole thing. I couldn't get into the aquarium because of it. It was just
oh my god, it was a struggle.
Yeah, it was a whole thing. But we saw the sea lions. Sea lions were sick. But yeah.
Listen, that looks pretty sick from what I saw. What night are we going to Catch Me Out? That's a great question. I would like to not go on Saturday. That's my only request.
I think I'm good. I think I catch me out myself enough last year.
You certainly did. You definitely did. We don't want to. I think there's a sign that has your face on it that says "Do not let this guy back inside." So after the horrors that you wrought on that place.
Oh man, I was a cat's meow.
You certainly were. But yeah, we could. I want to. Bourbon Street's a place, man. But I'm really excited to listen to some jazz music this year. Just I've really been big into jazz the last week or so. I just saw Sinners over the weekend. Phenomenal movie.
I don't know what that is.
So it's a movie. It's a
movie.
Yeah, it's the new Ryan Coogler Michael B. Jordan vehicle that came out this past weekend. Phenomenal stuff. Scary, soulful.
Not to cut you off, I'm reading the chat and I just thought of something. You're gonna probably have to vlog on your ends, and I'm probably gonna still have to vlog on my end since you're not staying with us.
Yeah, I guess that's true. We're gonna have to have two different POVs. What we can do is
George Cam is back.
Yeah, George Cam and Funny Text is back in the circus text. That was one of my favorite. I gotta say, thank you to everyone that's been enjoying the vlog content. I actually really enjoy making it. I think it's kind of fun to give a little peek into the madness that is the group of people we hang out with because we're very entertaining people. Harrell hates being on camera, but he is without trying, the funniest person that I think out of the several of us. He's the best part.
Yeah, when he lost, when he went 0-2, and I had to reel him in. I'm like, come on, man, get over here.
Yeah. He hit him with the whole, just hitting him with the whole say the line, Bart, cowabunga, yay! Yes.
I lost because I breathed. I stink.
Yeah,
he really does sound like Wario or Yeah, Wario and like Mario Party is like, oh, I lost.
Oh my god. Oh god, it's so
Or is
funny,
it
but
Waluigi? I don't know. One of those guys.
yeah, one of them.
Sounds like
One
one
of
of
the
them.
sounds like one of them. But yeah, I think the two angle perspective is going to be necessary, so we can fade in and out of both of us in funny transitions. So
Gonna be like you and Mario doing like little cutesy, like fun stuff, and then it's just gonna be us savages being like,
yeah,
like Donnie from the Wild Thornberries.
it's just going to be found footage of you guys running through the streets. It's gonna be terrifying, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. We also got some fun content ideas that we're working on behind the scenes too. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
But that's in the future. We can talk about more about that in as we move things along. But there were Pokemon tournaments over the weekend that George. George hasn't been to anything in like almost 2 weeks since you got back from Atlanta.
Yeah, I haven't played anything, so there's not really much for me to talk about. But
Yeah.
I did watch a lot of the special event and the Monterey Championship, so I do know what I'm talking about there.
Yeah, Monterey was some Patreon exclusive content. I don't know. We might have to put that stuff on. We might have to put that stuff on like on E-Bombs World, man. There might be some jank on
Bombs
this.
World. It's a throwback.
Yeah. We're gonna have to put this place. We're gonna have to like put it on a VHS tape or something. But yeah, there was a lot of Pokemon to be watched over the last couple of weeks, and if you missed it, there was the biggest storylines. One of the biggest storylines was the Monterey regional championships in Mexico and the Seville special event in Spain this past weekend, and those two things had this common denominator, in that they were both won by Gardevoir.
The same list of Gardevoir as well.
The same list of Gardevoir. So to talk about Monterey really quick, it was won by the GOAT himself, one of the best players this past season, and the second weekend, I guess technically the second weekend in a row where an automatic invite was once again taken away by someone else that already has one. Brent Tonneson won in Monterey, and over in Seville, Johan Barzizak. Yeah, that's probably how you pronounce that.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right.
I probably offended several people with that one, but I apologize to the French. But yeah, Johan also won the Seville special event. Really cool stuff. I think if there's anything we've gathered from these past couple of weeks,
Dog Vor.
Dog Vor. Oh God. Local vlog is Jason's Survivor thing. Oh, true. Honestly, the local vlogs would be fun. Maybe during the off season we can do a few more of those. We could probably get that. We could probably do that. But
all right, let's talk about this list though. Let's talk about this list because I feel very strongly about this list, and I'll tell you why. This is very close to the list that I played for Atlanta Regionals. The main difference is the third Monkey Dory, the Cleffa, third Dark Energy, and then the Nest Ball. So I played 0 Nest Balls in my list, but I did play 4 Research. No, I played 3 Research, 3 Iono, 4 Buddy Buddy Poffin, which, thinking about it now, probably makes more sense to play the Nest Balls because you want to get out Monkey Dories if you're playing 3 of them. But I played 3 Rare Candy. I played 1 Evo. So I was like pretty damn close to a 2-time winning regional list that my brain came up on my own, which everybody told me I was crazy. But the 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Night Stretcher, 3 Earthen Vessel, 3 Bravery Charm. You told me that I should probably be playing 3 Bravery Charm. I couldn't fit it. I did like it though, but realistically, very close, maybe 5 or 6 cards off of the list that I played to Atlanta. And I think that this list in particular, I much rather play, and this is probably what I will play, very similar to NAIC if I do play Guardy. If I don't convince myself to just play Charizard again, which I probably will anyway, but this is what I'll probably play because I just think it's far more consistent than the one that Henry Chow won with the Enzorark. I played a lot of that Enzorark list too, and it's far too complicated. And I love like how Isaiah Bradner's trying to, metafy it and be like, this is the best way to play it. You got to be like brain times a million to figure that out. This is much more consistent. It makes more sense. Like the 4-night stretcher is just so clutch. Just getting things back, especially if they knock out Fez, they knock out Lily's Clefairy, knock out Screamtail, knock out Drifloon, just grabbing it right back. Even with the Monkey Dories, getting back a Dark Energy and then getting another one with Artisan. Like it's just so consistent. I just love this list a lot. It's probably what I'll be playing this week.
Yeah, I think the Zoroark build proved to be a good build of the deck, and I think it also just shows, again, why Gardevoir is resilient. It is the cockroach of the format in which you just can't get rid of it. It's going to constantly have the ability to retool because Gardevoir itself is just so good of a Pokemon, good of a card. But the problem... Yeah, the engine's really good. But the problem with the Zoroark, obviously, is that you have a huge liability in play that you have to consider. I will say, looking off the rip as a non-Gardevoir person, I can't. Gardevoir is just not my type of deck. Seeing it without the Buddy Poffin is certainly interesting. And I think I'm done, giving you shellac when you send a monstrosity in the group chat of a list that you created. I think you just made out the deck building gene, George. I think you might be the missing cog in this team that we've been missing. So,
well, I said it before too when I was trying to build Charizard with Noctowl and I was putting Water Pond in there. Everybody was like, "You're crazy. You're smoking crack. Like, what are you talking about?" Then all these lists in Japan come up in Champions League with the Water Pond. Like, dude, I might be crazy, but I ain't stupid.
Remember what we said, man. They laughed at Jesus Christ too. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Well, that's it's a different story for a different day. But
yeah. But
what about this Blissey list, Kyle? Let's talk about something a little more interesting because Harrell has been on this a lot. What was your thoughts on this list?
This is just so strange. We're talking about the Blissey deck with 4 Monkey Dory in it, piloted by the world champ himself, Mr. Fernando Cifuentes. So getting his first top cut of the season with a deck that I don't think a lot of people saw on their radar, but you can see why it's good. There's only a handful of things that can one-shot you right now, and that deck doesn't convert very well anyway in Raging Bolt. So you just play into what makes Blissey really good. You're a 300 HP Pokemon that's not going to get knocked out in one hit, and you can... you set up the Monkey Dories in play. You happy switch the Darkness Energy to all of them, so you can just move all that damage off of you. So in certain instances, it doesn't even matter. I think this is a deck that can take advantage of just playing a slower game. You're very comfortable two-shotting everything. You play the Cornerstone Ogerpon, to give you outs to stuff like Goldengo and stuff that Blissey might not be able to stand up to. And the one Roaring Moon EX in here is honestly so sick because that allows you to get through opposing Cornerstone Mask Ogerpons because you can just knock it out and not even worry about it. I think this list is super sick. It takes a certain type of person to pilot it, but I see the vision here.
Especially with the 1 XP share, too, keeping the energy in play. Turbo Energize, so obviously get that energy in play on the early turns. Calling out the Roaring Moon EX again. That's something we spoke about on one of our earlier podcasts about how that's a great answer into a lot of these wall decks. I think it's kind of sick that you can have your Monkey Dories in play, Adrenabrain them off, put down, Roaring Moon, switch into it, or however you can get into the active, maybe with a rescue board on a Monkey Dory, and just happy switch all the dark energies and then Frenzy Gouge. Like, that's pretty insane. And then throw an XP share on a monkey, keep that going if it gets knocked out, because it only has 30 HP left. I think, listen, for boss too, you're kind of just saying, get your bench in order, or I'm just going to take the knockouts I want. Because also, Blissey, it's not like doing like little damage, especially with the Monkey Dories. If you attack into it with the high HP, that 180, if you have 3 Monkey Dories down, that's turning into 270 real quick. You know what I mean? So, listen, it's an interesting deck, and then obviously the same thing, goes for the Ogerpon, the Cornerstone. You go ahead and you could demolish and try to wall them off if you have to in certain situations. So, cool deck. He's also like always playing these kind of like 4 of decks. It seems like obviously winning with Iron Thorns, Quad Thorns, seems to be his kind of jam. But
very
cool.
Fernando's a hell of a player, so no surprise to see him do very well here. Crack into top cut with a bit of an off color pick here. I'd say the other, just to kind of quickly finish on Monterey, the other most interesting deck to come out of here is this Joltik box thing that everyone seems to be playing. Tyler Matthews.
You love that deck.
It's so sick. I love decks that are, fast and relatively low to the ground. This deck aims to do one thing. You're going to power up some pretty gross attackers with Joltik's Jolting Charge, and you're either going to take 2 prize cards, thank you very much, or you're going to blow something up with Topaz Bolt. So you get access to 2 very good attackers. This also plays a Maractus, which can come in handy with some, you can lock stuff in the active to allow yourself the extra turn to power yourself up. You have a great closer in Blood Moon Ursa Luna. You have the Liz's Clefairy to knock out opposing Dragapults. This deck just does a little bit of everything. And also in a format where Badu is very, very strong, how you play a Pokemon that allows you to get Pokemon out of your deck without item cards in Miraidon, and a Pokemon that powers up your attackers in Joltik. So this is a great one.
As we see Guardy continue to have its dominance too, obviously, Miraidon was Guardy's number 1 op back in the day with Iron Hands, so I think this deck is only going to get more and more popular.
Yeah, I agree, and I think it's showing in if you look at online events, Iron Hands trauma was over. No, Iron Hands trauma is never over, Omar. He's staying around, and I honestly to God think this deck is going to continue to be really good. There's another deck we'll talk about in a little bit here. And you don't have to worry. People are like, oh, but what about the, Dragapult playing a 30 HP Pokemon feels so bad. And while you're correct in that statement, your Joltik usually isn't lasting past the first or second turn anyway, usually. And you also play a Bravery Charm in here, so you can easily, put that well out of range of a Phantom Dive. So there's a lot to like about this deck, and I think it's very well positioned in a meta going into the next format where things don't really change that much, in my opinion. So I think this is a deck that can continue to show some legs. And to quickly talk about Seville, I watched a decent amount of this weekend. Again, Gardevoir, good deck. I think now that we've kind of have a few regionals under our belt, George, I think it's very safe to say that the 3 decks to beat going into Milwaukee this weekend, it's Dragapult, Gardevoir, and Goldengo. I think these decks have really moved themselves up the food chain of what is really, really good right now.
Yeah, I would say that's true. And that being said, with Gardevoir and its dominance, you see that a 3rd place finish was taken by Zoroark here, which I was testing a lot too prior to Atlanta. I think this is an archetype that's going to be making a comeback with Guardy's dominance as well. It also doesn't have a bad matchup into Dragapult either. So 2 out of the 3 big hitters there. Goldengo is actually not too bad either. So I could see this in Milwaukee doing pretty well. Did you take a look at this list at all, Kyle?
Yeah, I think it's really cool. There's a couple of components missing in here that you've seen in other Zoroark decks. Flareon's matchup into Polton Dango is kind of disgusting. Yeah, that's also a fun one too. And we'll talk a little bit about the decks that are in good polling position right now. But I love the Zoroark deck. I think this is a deck that everybody wants to be good because ends, Zoroark is such an iconic ends an iconic Pokemon character, and trade is a really good ability. Turns out drawing cards is pretty good. And I think looking at what's kind of rised to the top here as really good decks, it's very clear that okay, this deck can snipe the bench. You can with that Darmanitan attack. I think this deck really has some decent polling position because of what's really good right now. It's a bunch of decks that want to set up small guys. There's no Pecharunt EX in here, to take advantage of a poison package. So you're cutting into a lot of the fluffs cards in there. I love the Monkey Dory. Makes a lot of sense. That's why you play a deck like that or a card like that in a deck that uses Dark Energy anyway. I love the Power Glass in this deck. I think that card is super sick. It makes your being able to chain together attacks with Zoroark, a lot easier. So I think this deck is really cool. I think it's another one that's going to be on the radar of people maybe going into this weekend.
Yeah, I'll definitely be playing a little bit of it as well. It's a fun deck to play, except for when it bricks. But I see that this version is playing 4 research, which makes a lot of sense. You probably do need those 4 research to keep that consistency. What else is to note here? Oh yeah, this stupid silly deck here, Frostlass Monkey Dory. I will hate you if I see you playing this in the locals.
There was someone that played us at a local this past week, so
Oh, gross.
you know what? It's just like I get it, man. Like this deck is not flashy. It's not fun. Burn decks are typically not like my favorite types of decks to play either, but it's a winning strategy. Being able to put damage on the board with Monkey Dory, with Frostlass, and to move it around with Monkey Dory. It's just makes for a winning strategy. I think this deck has legs, but if the game ebbs as it flows, then maybe the rise of Joltik Box makes a deck like this not as good of a play because you just get completely annihilated by Iron Hands. If you have your way here, so. That's a fun one. The one deck list I wanted to highlight here is the one I sent in our Google Doc. I got to give a shout out to this 98th place list from Nicolo De Giorgi from Spain with this Caparaja EX deck that I played on stream last night. This guy is so sick, George. Are you aware of the Lord and Savior Nosequake?
Attack does 30 damage to each of your bench Pokemon. Does 260 and you just Monkey Dory it off?
Exactly.
Just play Monkey Dory? Yeah.
Yep. You play 4 Monkey Dory, you do 30 damage to all your monkeys, you play Energy Switch so you can move all that damage off of your guys. So your 260 could easily become like a 320 or whatever the math is there. It's so funny. It's kind of
pretty
sick.
Cringe. I'm not gonna lie. Pretty cringe. And what do you use Archild down the X to help power it up early game?
Yeah, because you really want to sit behind this and TM Turbo Energize for a couple turns.
Right.
So I think the Archaludon is just there to help you accelerate that energy for the subsequent Caparaja EX.
Then you also have access to Heavy Baton. I just saw that now. This is a pretty cringe deck.
Which, if you watched my stream last night, you will know that I do not know how to read my cards because I did not use Heavy Baton successfully once. I kept putting it in the wrong Pokemon, so I can't read. That's all I got.
You have to have 4 retreat to use it.
No, I kept putting it on the bench Pokemon, not the active Pokemon.
yeah. It's the other way. Yeah, but I mean, listen, it's a cool way. So this was created by an Italian. I'm assuming, right?
Their home region is Spain, but you wouldn't. I wouldn't be hard pressed to believe that that's an Italian name.
Oh, so Spain. Yeah, it's a very Italian sounding Nicolo De Giorgi.
Dominic De Coco.
That's my terrible Italian accent, by the way. Yeah, pretty cool deck. And then you had another one here that you probably really like. I'll let you introduce that one too.
Yeah, so there's another tournament that happened within the last couple of weeks. It was the Korean League Season 4 regional. So also playing in the same format we're playing in right now. There's a 4th place Cerulege list that I found very fun. Played a split line of the Rever Room with the Rumbling Engine. So it allows you to draw some cards, as a deck that wants to get energy in a discard pile. Pretty good. You play all the broken support Pokemon, Pheasantipity, Squawkabilly, Badoo, Monkey Dory. You have means to do that. I don't know, it's just cool. Cerulege is a fun Pokemon. I kind of wish this card could see some more play, but I feel like it just gets turbo cooked by Badoo right now. Kind of, sort of. I don't know. It doesn't feel very well positioned. Probably just because it loses so hard to the other decks.
Well, I think any deck that can utilize Briar too, though, has some kind of chance. Obviously, the 2 Jamming Towers are also pretty good. Jamming Towers is pretty good in this meta right now. I don't really understand what the Mist Energies are for. That's pretty, I guess.
Probably just to protect your guys on the bench, I guess. So
from Dragapult, yeah,
that's what I would imagine. So
yeah, pretty
more
weird.
more energy to discard.
I don't know. Cerulege decks, to me, whenever I see them, I'm like, this is just not real, and I'm not worried about them half the time. But
the problem is it just doesn't move fast enough. That's the problem. The deck ramps up around turn 3, turn 4, but or turn 5, turn 6. The meta still moves just a little bit too fast for a deck like this to succeed. truthfully, but still fun. I think he's a cool Pokemon. I'm a fan.
Cool guy.
Just a cool looking guy.
He's got cool pants.
Real cool pants. Super cool pants.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think going into Milwaukee, I think we're gonna maybe see lines of maybe people try to tech more for Gardevoir. Like you said, maybe you see more Jamming Tower. But also, I think you can also look at this as sort of your preview for NAIC. Also, Darkness Pokemon, are a good commodity to have when the meta is primarily dominated by a Psychic type Pokemon, like Gardevoir is. So I think you're really going to see an uptick in Zoroark. You're really going to see an uptick in the Joltik box. And Omar mentioned it earlier in the chat also. I think the Flareon box, or the EV box in general, incredibly well-positioned deck right now. Like, definitely has some shortcomings, but has a puncher's chance into a lot of stuff in the meta right now. And I think that deck is also going to continue to see a lot of play because it's a solid deck. Better version of Terra box.
Yeah, I think the addition of the Tropicos EX that a lot of the lists are playing now give it a little bit better chance, being able to do 240 consistently. Because the Flareon only does 130 for 2, and then it's kind of hard to pull off the second attack twice in a row. That's kind of like its problem.
I think if the lists are not playing the Crystal, that attack is kind of a hard one to set up because the lists that are popping up more popular are, I think, the ones that are playing the Unfair Stamp that did really well in Atlanta. So I don't know. I think the deck is in a decent spot moving forward. Everything just feels pretty wide open right now, unless you play like I don't know, Lugia. That guy's dead though. So
Lugia.
Yeah, no, sorry. I just miss. I listen, man. I miss him every day.
What do you think about the Poison Box decks? Are they coming back? Or we've seen them go? Or
so I thought if you asked me this question like immediately after Atlanta, I'd say that the Poison Package stuff is kind of not necessary anymore because Terra Box fell so flat on its face. But not because you only really need those decks. Obviously, serve a good niche because you can steal wins away by going first and setting up the poison donk. But also you need that poison damage to help knock out Pikachu, which is a huge Pokemon, which we were expecting to be a huge Pokemon in the format. And, Terra Box kind of fell off after Atlanta, so it's just like, is this deck really going to be that good? And now Joltik Box is a thing, so now you need to, have a retech into Pikachu. So you're seeing a lot more stuff like, the Vengeful Punch in certain decks, and in other cases the Poison Package. So I still think this deck this archetype has a home. Being able to cheese wins like that is pretty huge. So I think they're still pretty well positioned still.
Well, anything else you would like to highlight here? I'm looking through. I did see one list that I thought was kind of interesting, if I may.
Go ahead.
Number 49 by Bernardo Diaz. Little slacking EX action.
This is kind of sick. It opts to play the Grand Tree as your ace spec of choice. Makes sense. So you can
their ace spec of choice because it's everybody's, right?
Yes.
It's our ace spec.
Yeah, our ace. Yeah, it's. I love that meme of just like the communist ace spec because it's everyone's ace spec.
It plays both our ace specs, that and Artisan. That's the community.
Yeah, our ace. Yeah.
Well, not ace specs, stadiums, I should say.
Yeah. Yeah, in the community pile. Cool stuff. Born to Slack is kind of a cringe ability. Well, it's cringe if you play slacking, but I think this is really cool. The counter gain is fun, which means you can set up. You can use the attack for 1 boomerang energy, which puts the energy like right. It goes back to your Pokemon after you discard it, so that allows you to set up multiple giant swings. I don't know. I think it's cute. I think this card is interesting. And the 1/1 line of Dusknoir, obviously just helps fix math. That card is busted, so why not try to include one in there? So,
what are you attacking with if they have no EX in play?
Fan Rotom?
Pidgeot? Fan Rotom? Like, I don't know.
Itchy Pollen?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know what you do. Nah, it's not for me to find out. Because I'll never play this.
You scoop go next. That's what you do.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm pretty much set on everything here. I don't know if there's anything else you saw, Kyle.
There's a Hobzation deck that got top 128. It's playing a mix of the monkey. It's playing a 2-line of Monkey Dory, plays a Devolution and a Black Belt's Training. Pretty good. So I don't know. Everything seems pretty like ironed out right now. I think like now the good decks are kind of starting to rise to the top, and it's up to everyone else to see like, okay, do we either play the best things in the room or do we try to play the stuff that counters it? So that's now the game you're going to see play out this weekend. So I don't know. I think we're going to see a lot of variety as we've been seeing a lot of variety in a lot of these tournaments to start the format. So I'm excited to see what we have going forward.
I really think Milwaukee, you'll see a lot more Enzorark and a lot more Joltik box. But like also Gardevoir is so weird because it still won't be the top deck played.
No.
So
it's definitely a high high skill ceiling deck. So and also Hobzation did win the Highlander Cup this weekend.
Did it really?
Well, I think I guess Andrew played with the Andrew Spolstra, local guy. I think he won with the same list he won the challenge with. So heck of a card. I think Hobzation is sick. So want to get into Squawk and Seas this week, George? We're approaching on our hour mark. So
yeah, let's do it because the Knicks have started.
Oh, true. They have started. There's a game to watch. Anyway, we're going to get into Squawk and Seas real quick, folks. Everyone's favorite this or that question game. In honor of George and I going outside this week, we're going to Squawk and Seas things to do when the weather's nice. So feel free to chime with suggestions in the chat if you see one that comes to mind. But George, I'll open the floor to you. We'll do like 3 each. How about that? We'll keep it quick. So
I was gonna say I was gonna give you the layup one. Give you that one first that we talked about earlier.
Oh yeah. All right. So I'll ask you this question first. Squawk and Seas playing Pokemon cards.
The Pokemon TCG, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, seize. That is not a nice weather thing to do. As you saw, Andrew said, go to locals, also seizing that. Obviously, I'm joking. I miss playing. But, yeah, when it's nice out, go touch some grass.
Touching grass is kind of sick. Yeah.
Touching grass. Except for just make sure you take a Claritin beforehand because that itchy palm will get you.
No, I'm dying. It's bad.
So for this weekend, I'll keep it on topic because this is your birthday weekend. Happy birthday, Kyle. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Squawk or Seas going to a baseball game?
I'm squawking that 10 ways to Sunday. That's because I'm going to a baseball game on my birthday this year. Exactly. I also love baseball games. Baseball games are cool. Baseball is definitely not a sport for everybody, but you get to eat some great food. You get to sit outside if it's a nice day outside. What's more to love? You get a hot dog, you get a beer for like $36,
Yeah. Bro, when I went to the Mets opening game, it was, guess how much 2 beers and 2 hot dogs were?
$28.
2 beers and 2 hot dogs. $28? I wish.
$36.
I wish.
How much did you pay?
$56.
Oh, my maron.
It came with French fries too, but, yeah, $56. 2 beers, 2 hot dogs. Unbelievable.
Bruh. That's insane work.
Also at Billy's on Friday before the Yankee game, 2 high noons and 2 shots of tequila, $64, no tip.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Oh, you know what? I went to a bar over the week. I went to a bar over the I went to a bar over the weekend and I got I got like 2 drinks and then my girlfriend got 2 drinks and it cost us like $64. I was like, yikes, what the hell happened here?
Yeah, but that's like New York City prices, and they're probably cocktails. They're probably nice drinks. I'm talking about 2 high noons, brother. Like, come on. What are we doing?
Love a nooner. God bless them.
Love a nooner, though. Drink a nooner. It's a nice thing to do on a nice day.
Love it. Love a nooner.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's all right. So that's a good one.
They were not tall boys. They were 12-ounce high noons. Absolutely cringe.
Large oof. All right, George. Here we go. Squawk or C's. This is okay. This is one that like you don't get to do very often, but it is a fun time when you get to. How about Squawk or C's going to an amusement park when the weather's nice?
You know, I'm not a big amusement park guy. I'm kind of a wimp when it comes to roller coasters. I've only recently gone like on upside down rides. I'm kind of like petrified of it. Like like on the boardwalk too, they have like the slingshot thing. I will never do that ever.
Oh no, never. Absolutely not.
No, like I never been on King to Ka. Like I won't do that. Like
No.
you can't now. But like
God rest his soul.
Yeah. I think I'd rather go to a water park, even though it's kind of gross because kids are peeing and that shit. But I don't know. I want to squawk it, but it wouldn't be my first choice. So I am gonna have to seize going to an amusement park.
I would wholeheartedly agree with you. The slingshot on the boardwalk scares me. I'm terrified of heights, so that King of Ka was never an appeal to me. And men my size were never meant to go in the slingshot into the air, so that was never my thing. That being said, though, now that I am svelte and I can like fit, because I don't know if I've talked about this on a podcast before. Being a fat guy and trying to get into a roller coaster seat is like one of the most humiliating things ever. It like really ruins your day when you see them trying to like put the harness over you, and that shit is just not gonna work out for you. So I felt the shame of like trying to make myself fit and then having to embarrass myself and get out of the ride. It's a horror I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. That being said, though, now that I'm svelte, I totally want to go on a roller coaster this summer because I want to see if I like roller coasters now. So.
Yeah, maybe like on a boardwalk, I'll go on a roller coaster, but I wouldn't go pay for an amusement like where that's the only thing I could do.
Want to go to Coney Island?
I do want to go to Coney Island. That is one thing that I do want. On 4th of July, I want to go to Coney Island and I want to see the hot dog eating competition. That is like one of my bucket list things to do, and I don't know.
Let's go this year. Let's do it.
I'm down.
All right, we'll work.
All right.
We'll talk.
That being said, Squawk or C's on a nice day playing Pokemon Go.
I'm actually going to seize this one because I don't. It's so weird. I spend a lot of time on my phone. I am mentally ill and terminally online a lot. I actually, but that does not include playing mobile games. I actually hate playing games on my phone. It's so weird. So I'm going to seize this. I don't play a lot of Pokemon Go. Not really my thing.
I don't really play it a lot, but I do like taking my dog out for a walk at like a dog park or like, like over by my house. We have over in Montclair, Bloomfield area, the Brookdale Park. They have the big dog park there, and it's great for Pokemon Go. It's just kind of something to do, listen to some music, walk the dog, get a little exercise, and just catch some Pokemon while you're going. It's a win-win. So.
Can I pet that dog?
Yeah. Toby, he's crazy. Probably bite your finger off.
Probably. Yeah, I don't know. Pokemon Go's never really been my thing. Playing mobile games, I feel like I spend too much time on my phone as it is, and I just don't have the mental capacity to play another game on my phone. So, all right, George, last one for me. We're going to Squawk or seize a picnic in the park as a nice day activity.
So... Damn, we're like seizing a lot of these things. I'm going to seize this one too. The only reason why I'm seizing a picnic in the park is that something always.
Okay, hold on. All right. Here we go. I'm gonna revise this one. Eating outside in general. As a nice
Eating
activity.
outside in general, definitely squawking.
Yeah.
Picnic in a park, I feel like birds start coming around.
Fraggle.
The dogs want to get at you. There's bugs everywhere because you're like in the grass. There's so many bad things that can happen in a picnic in a park. But going to a place that has outdoor seating with a nice view, holy shit, brother. There's nothing better in the world, in my opinion. Friday night I went out to Hoboken, shout out City Bistro. You go overlook the Hudson, see the skyline. Great views inside, too, with the clientele, if you catch my drift. And, man, it is just, it's a vibe. It's a vibe. Sip a little IPA, get a little pizza. man, eating outside on a nice day, squawking that to the moon. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. I love an outdoor seating arrangement. Unless I'm like sitting in the sun because I'm a big sweater, and it's all fun until you start sweating into your carpaccio. That's not fun for anybody. But I do love sitting outside.
It's your carpaccio.
Yeah, it's all fun and games. All right, but you got one more, George?
Did you know that carpaccio just means to cut thinly in Italian?
No, I did not know that. I learned something today.
Yeah,
so.
everybody always thinks it's the meat, but it's not. It's just anything could be carpaccio.
All right, so I'm gonna make some Goldengo carpaccio. You know what I'm saying? So.
Whoa,
yeah.
Whoa! That's some expensive carpaccio right there.
Hey-o.
I'll give you one more. How about? I kind of was all tapped out, to be honest with you. How about Pokemon Go? I said. What about playing a little 5-on-5 pickup, a little basketball, playing a little sports outside?
I'll squawk it. I actually love it. And just I'll encompass that as like playing sports.
Pickleball.
Yeah, I love. I fuck heavy with pickleball. Pickleball's sick. I'm a big slow pitch softball guy. I love playing a catch in the backyard. My nephews are playing baseball now, so like it's that kind of gives me an excuse to go outside and take a couple of hacks. I love a batting cage. Squawk 5-on-5 basketball. I'm down. I'm terrible at basketball, but I'll lace up. I'll squawk it.
So a couple of weeks ago, I was at the Standard Beer Garden in the Upper East Side or maybe Upper West Side, one of those. I don't know.
West
over there
Side?
by Christopher Street. Yeah, and they had a basketball court that was regulation, and then they had like a free throw line. You paid $5. And you would get 5 shots. If you made 3 out of 5 shots, you got a free beer. So essentially, a $5 beer when it was 13. I hit 3 in a row. Swap, swap, swap. I will bust anybody in basketball. I can shoot. I'm just like faster than I look. Can also dribble all right. I'm like a little more athletic than you know what it is. I'm also just very accurate. Like you weren't with us in Atlanta, but I'm like discussing at darts, like
I believe
extremely good. And then this last weekend, I was at a birthday party. We're playing beer pong. Ran the whole table. You see me play beer pong.
I have seen you play beer pong. You're very good at beer pong.
I'm just accurate,
But no one's gonna run a 5K. Absolutely not.
Yeah, never. I will. If you want to see a man die, if you want to see somebody faint on the ground, catch me running a 5K. I can maybe run a half a 1K, maybe.
I can run down the stairs. That's about all I can do. So don't ask me to do much more. I think we as a group should go outside like once a month and like do something fun together. I think that'd be fun. So
I'm down to ball. Trying to ball with my bros.
Yeah,
Remember
we'll figure it out.
That vibe.
Ball
Just
my
ball
bro.
with my bro.
We'll work on it when the weather gets nicer. But yeah, that's gonna be it for Squawk and Seas, and that's gonna be for this week's episode. Go Knicks. George, you got anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
Yeah, just go Knicks. I'm definitely going to put a little wager in right now, even though I do think they might lose this one. But Cat just been on fire. So catch me on Twitter or the X platform, whatever they're calling it nowadays, at Pony Bottle Champ, PNYBTL Champ. And let's yap. How about you?
Yeah, you guys can check me out at Koopa NJ across platforms. I am, I'm doing stuff. I'm making moves. But it's gonna be my birthday this weekend. So if you want to stay tapped into the shit I'm getting myself into, follow me on socials. Maybe we'll see what happens. I'm gonna be busy doing stuff.
You're not gonna birthday vlog. No shot.
No shot.
Well, thank you everybody. Thanks for joining us today. And yeah, you can catch us on YouTube, on Spotify, and wherever you enjoy our podcast regularly. And remember to like, subscribe, and comment on those videos. It is greatly appreciated.
Yep. We'll see you guys next week. Good night, everybody.